Hello friends, and welcome back to Art with Mr. Orlando. Last week we studied rainbow colors. If you can remember the rainbow colors, why don't you go ahead and say them along with me, starting from the top and going down. There's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Excellent job! This week what we're going to do is we're going to explore warm colors and cool colors. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The top three colors of the rainbow are the warm colors, and the bottom three colors are the cool colors. This week what we're going to do in our studio class is we are going to create ice cream cones using warm colors and cool colors. Come and join me at the teaching table and let's get to work. Okay, welcome to the teaching table. Today what we're going to make is an ice cream cone using warm colors and cool colors. The first thing that you're going to need is a sheet of paper. You'll also need a pencil, you'll need a pen, a ruler or something that has a straight edge. You'll of course need the rainbow colors, and then you'll need something that's round. I'm using the top of a jelly jar. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and trace around the circle at the very top center. And then you're going to go down just a little. And you're going to trace the can again, but this time you're going to leave the top so that you don't have to trace that part because you're going to make it overlap just a little. And if you accidentally trace it all the way around, which is what I'm going to do here, that's okay, because you can always erase a part of it. So now I've got the three circles, and the next thing I'm going to want to do is to make a small dot kind of right in the center. So I'm going to go on the top, all the way down, and I'm going to go down to the maybe about an inch from the bottom. And then I'm going to take my straight edge, I'm going to go from the dot to one side of my ice cream cone, and then to the other side of my ice cream cone. Some of you might be able to do this by yourselves, and some of you might need help. You can ask a parent to help you. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to mark it in a black pen. Now if you don't have a black pen, that's okay, because you can go ahead and do this without outlining. Okay, so now that we have that, we have an ice cream cone. So we are going to do one that's warm and one that's cool. I don't always have the best handwriting, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in pencil first. I'm happy with that. Okay, and I'll do one for warm. Nice. Okay. So now that I have a warm and a cool, it's now time to fill them in. It's now time to fill in the ice cream cone. Let's go ahead and start with the warm colors first. Now the top of the rainbow is red, then orange, and then yellow. Those will be my three colors for the warm ice cream cone. For the cool, I start with green, blue, and purple. So now I'm going to fill them in, and let's see how it looks. Excellent. Once you're done filling out your warm and cool ice cream cone, you can go ahead and cut them out. This way, what you'll have is something that looks like this. You'll have a warm ice cream cone and a cool ice cream cone. We oftentimes think of these as a warm palette and a cool palette. Artists use warm and cool palettes when they create artwork. This week, we're going to look at the work of an artist named Vincent van Gogh and look at how he uses warm and cool palettes. We're also going to look at the work of an artist named Claude Monet, and again, looking at whether or not he uses mostly warm or mostly cool palettes. Let's go ahead and look at some artwork by an artist named Vincent van Gogh. This is a portrait by Van Gogh of Joseph Rollin. Would you say that this portrait is more of a warm palette or more of a cool palette? Here's another work by Vincent van Gogh titled Sunflower. Would you say this is more of a warm palette or more of a cool palette? Here's another portrait by Vincent van Gogh. Would you say that this portrait is more of a warm palette or more of a cool palette? Here's another painting by Van Gogh. Would you say this painting is more of a warm palette or more of a cool palette? Here is a self-portrait by an artist named Vincent van Gogh. Do you think this is more of a cool palette, or do you think it's more of a warm palette? Now let's look at some paintings. This is a painting by an artist named Claude Monet. Would you say this is more of a warm palette, or do you think it's more of a cool palette? Here's another painting by Claude Monet titled Water Lily Pond. Would you say this is more of a cool palette, or would you say that it's more of a warm palette? Claude Monet would oftentimes paint the same scenery many different times, using sometimes warm and sometimes cooler palettes. Can you see a difference between the warm palette and the cool palette? This is another painting by the artist Claude Monet. Would you say this painting is primarily warm colors or primarily cool colors? Or would you say it's a little bit of both? If you said that this area was the warm area, and that this area, and this area, and even this was the cool area, you'd be correct. Well, that's it for this week. This week we studied warm and cool palettes. Warm colors are red, orange, and yellow. And cool colors are green, blue, and purple. Excellent. We also looked at a couple of artists' artwork. We looked at the artwork of Claude Monet and also of the artwork of an artist named Vincent van Gogh. If you saw a painting by one of these artists that you felt used mostly cool colors, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, me too. I saw that also. If you saw a painting that you thought used mostly warm colors, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Yeah, me too. I saw that both artists used both warm colors and cool colors. Well, that's it for this week. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.